Welcome to Universal Recycling Technologies. I'm Jim Cornwell, president of the company. We're about to take a tour of the asset recovery facility in Janesville, Wisconsin. In our asset recovery division, we receive about 4 truckloads a day. Right now we're unloading a truck from one of our clients. As everything is received, we first will tag it with a unique serial number for each pallet, and that pallet serial number will be tracked throughout the facility so we can identify exactly which customer it came from, what material was received, the date it was received, and then ultimately the date all that material was processed. So once the truck is received and all the pallets are tagged, they move into our storage area and then on for final processing. So here the first step of the process is to weigh the unit and to identify the customer and the type of material that we're receiving. We scan the serial number into the system, and that logs that unit to be tracked throughout our facility. I think what we'll do is we'll head into the asset security cage. That's where we process all our PCs, data wipe. What we're doing is we're first hooking them up to a series of software programs where we're going to wipe the data so it meets DoD requirements. DoD stands for Department of Defense. So the hard drives in their systems are brought over here, whether they're servers or PCs or laptops. They're brought over here and they're hooked up to our network. We run a standard 3-wipe system, so that means it takes every segment of the hard drive, wipes it 3 times to ensure that all data has been removed properly. Once that wiping is complete, we run it through another set of series of software where we're actually checking to make sure those segments are clean. So we're validating that the initial software that we run was actually working correctly. And that way we can ensure to our customers that not only our system's working right, but we have the backup system to check our programs to make sure day in and day out that we can guarantee full destruction of all the data on the systems. So now we're going to head over to the test and refurb area. This is where we take all assets to check to see if they're working in their normal functional way. So before anything's sold at Universal Recycling Technologies, we tested to make sure it works correctly, right down to the keyboard. We don't want anything sold at our facility that doesn't work properly. Right here you can see that we're going through and testing the keyboard, testing the functionality of each and every button, and we can see the display on the monitor and to ensure that those buttons are working correctly, that all information is being relayed back and forth. If something doesn't work correctly, the cord is cut and the keyboard is destroyed. So all displays are receiving at the Universal Recycling Technologies asset division come through and are tested before they're resold. No displays are resold unless they're properly working, and we go through a functional testing to ensure that happens. We plug in the cords to a DVD player and provide a backdrop of movie, and then we go through and check the functionality of each and every button. If the units don't work correctly, if there are pixel burns in the screen, that unit is destroyed. Everything, once it goes through and our data containing equipment, the data is wiped. It comes over here and it's graded. And what we mean by grading, we look at the age of the equipment, the cosmetic features of it, and whether it actually had tested and worked. If it's an old unit, if it's been graded poorly, that it does not have value for resale, then we strip it down for commodity components. And really what we're doing is we're breaking down the unit into basic metals, plastic, and then if it's a display, also the glass. And you can see over here, our employees are breaking down PCs. They're pulling out the memory sticks, they're pulling out the processors, they're separating aluminum from copper, from steel, and from plastic. And so all those components can be reused. So once all our equipment has been data wiped and been tested and ready for resale, it comes over here, where that unit then is logged into the system as ready for sale, and then it's put into our warehouse for our salespeople to market. So at any time we can track down where the unit is and package it for sale quickly. As you can see in our storage racks, we have a lot of various materials that we resell, and these materials come through every day, whether it's speakers, PCs, processors, servers. Every day is a little different at URT from the type of material coming through and the type of material that we can reclaim for resale back into the marketplace. We don't sell anything unless we can validate that it's working properly and that the data has been wiped. So anytime we run through a process where the hard drive does not remove the data properly, then we'll take it over and either degauss it or we'll actually shred the hard drive, and I'll show you that next. So any of the hard drives that fail the data wipe will either be degaussed or shredded, and we shred that to ensure that no data can ever be recovered off the hard drive. Here's a good example of how our shredders work. We grind the material down to about an 1/8 in size. It processes about 1,000 hard drives an hour. So URT has customers throughout the world that we sell peripherals and other types of equipment once they've been tested and approved for resale. So here you can see pallets that are all ready to go to be shipped out to our customers, and we ensure that they're stretch wrapped and they're banded so the products arrive to our customers as perfectly as they are when they leave our facility. At URT, we take security very seriously. All our access points in this facility are protected for unwanted entry into our operation. We also monitor 16 cameras throughout the day and night to ensure that we don't have any issues at our facility. So both internally and externally, these cameras are monitored so we can go back over 90 days to, if we ever have an issue, to pull up the video and to see actually what's happened. Well, thanks for visiting the Asset Division for Universal Recycling Technologies.